going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we've got a very exciting video because not only are we talking about Brawl Talk, breaking it down, talking all things hypercharges, all things Stranger Things collabs. There's a lot going on, but the most exciting thing by far is the fact that hypercharges have been nerfed. So we're going to be talking about that and then going on to other things, the new Brawler as well, seeing how good I think that new Brawler will be. But anyways, let's dive into this hypercharge nerf. So hypercharges have finally been nerfed by their stats. So if you guys have been an avid watcher of the channel, you'd know that I've been advocating for this for over a year. Hypercharges just don't make sense with the big stat boost. It just changes way too many Brawler interactions. You know, before a couple of years, well, before hypercharges, I'd be able to pretty much remember all of these different interactions in terms of pure numbers. But with the recent changes to hypercharges or these stat buff, it just made it a bit too lopsided. Well, way too lopsided. I made hypercharges way too strong. So they're actually nerfing this. So it's a 5% boost to damage and shield and a 20% boost for speed. So this is a perfect change because damage and shield are by far the biggest, like most toxic ones. 5% it's not really too much, right? 5% is just a little boost, but the speed at least allows you to get value out that 5-second window. So I don't mind it. This is perfect. They said that it's because hypercharges provide slightly too much value. Well, I wouldn't really put it as slightly. They definitely produce like an infinite amount of value. It's crazy. They also said that it was frustrating to face them. Yep, you guys, it's been frustrating for years now, and yeah, that's mainly the thing with the hypercharges. So I'm glad that they've nerfed this. One thing they need to do though, which you guys will see with balance changes dropping tomorrow, so make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, is hopefully they're nerfing mechanically a lot of these hypercharges. We're talking Kenji, we're talking Ollie, we're talking Kit, we're talking quite a few more other hypercharges that still need an actual change to the hypercharge to make it more balanced. If they also do this, this could be the perfect update even without all the content, because the game has been so unbalanced for a long time, and finally I'm starting to see the light. Quickly, before we move on to the new Brawler, just want to quickly go over the Stranger Things skins, because I know we don't really talk about skins a lot on this channel, but Stranger Things is one of my favorite, if not my favorite shows. So these are just absolute bangers. We've got Lumi 11, which is just so hilarious. I was really thinking like who could 11 be, and Lumi kind of does make sense. So I like that. We've got Dustin Nita, which makes sense. I know another Nita skin, but it does make sense with the Demogorgon, and Dustin in Stranger Things does have, I forgot what the pet's name is, but like a little Demogorgon. We've also got we got Hopper Bull, which again, we actually got that correct. And Ollie Draco, a lot of people got that correct as well. Will Gus, a lot of people got that correct. So I think 3 out of the 6 skins people would have estimated already. And then we've got Steve Harrington Berry, basically. Well, we didn't ever call him Scoops or Hoy Berry, but it's basically Steve. So a lot of these skins are absolutely fire, but in specific, it's got to be Ollie Draco, right? I can't wait to play with these skins. So now let's talk about the new Brawler, which is going to release with this update called Gigi. So Gigi, I've literally about to say Juju there. She's a part of the Juju trio, which she looks really fun. But the problem here is that she's another assassin. There's too many assassins inside of Brawl Stars. Every single new brawler just seems to be an assassin or some type of brawler that just likes to go aggressive. There's not enough defensive characters, support brawlers, snipers. The last sniper release was Angelo, I believe. So it's been a very long time, Brawl Stars. Please stop releasing assassins. I mean, that's what probably makes them the money. Anyways, with Gigi, she looks pretty OP. So she's got a considerable amount of health, 7,600. She does 1,000 damage per spin, and you can see her attack works kind of like Amber, right? Like the longer you hold it, you use up all of your ammo, and there it's just one ammo bar. So, and when you actually use your attack, you gain movement speed. So this is pretty cool. So like a mini Colt Super, like I said, and the trait is a very cool one. So I think I remember seeing this trait on Reddit, I believe, when someone was talking about an Edgar rework. They were saying, why doesn't Edgar charge his super when he dodges shots? Like that could be a cool way to rework him. So they've definitely taken inspiration from that one Reddit post. You guys probably know if you're a hardcore Reddit user. So whenever she dodges projectiles, she'll charge up a super, which is really cool. And I believe with melee characters as well, something to do with that. So I'll have to like test that out in game. I don't know, maybe just someone punches near you then. But yeah, that just makes kind of sense, but it just sounds a little bit weird, right? Because melees have such little range. It's going to be very rare that a melee misses up close. Anyways, she looks very, very fun. But the most broken part about her is definitely her super. So her super is a teleport. You teleport onto somebody, and then you can, you know, smash your attack, whatever. But you can instantly teleport back to your original position, and you will deal damage upon return, which seems to be 3,000. So what you could technically do, if you're just feeling really cheesy and someone's below 3,000 health, you can just teleport to them and just teleport back and instantly kill them without any real counters played there. So this sounds really toxic, and especially with this trait as well. I think it will reward some like cool gameplay, but just teleporting on people, yeah, it just seems pretty hard to counter and deal with. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that she'll be completely broken. They didn't actually talk about the hypercharge in this video, so I wonder if the hypercharge will be included upon her release. I'm hoping it does, just because like a lot of brawlers might actually be weaker upon release without the hypercharge. I don't know, like it just makes sense for the hypercharge to be released with her. And of course, there's like an event going on with her as well. So yeah, I think GG looks cool, but all assassins kind of look cool. So yeah, I don't know if I'm starting to get sick of assassins now. So now let's move on to the 4 new hypercharges coming out with the update. So this is the last batch pretty much. And I'm unsure whether brawlers will release with a hypercharge in the future. But yeah, this is, I mean, it's a sad time because I like the hypercharge releases. It's pretty exciting. But also, there's not just going to be a bunch of broken hypercharges coming to the game every single update. Anyways, Pam's hypercharge is exactly like the one that was already like, I mean, it wasn't really like Brawl Stars just leaked it themselves. So I can say it's leaked, but they literally added it to the live game. Anyways, Pam hypercharge, it instantly heals people for a considerable amount, like a Poco kind of super, or like a gadget, about 3,000 healing, and then it gives you a big shield. So it actually looks pretty good, but the problem with Pam is a standalone brawler. She's just not that great whatsoever right now, so she's in need of a rework. So I think the hypercharge will be fun, but I don't think it's going to push her anywhere near the top of the meta. And then we're moving on to Ali. So Ali has been an underrated brawler for a little while. I was under the impression once she gets a hypercharge and other meta brawlers get nerfed, I think she'll be probably an S-tier brawler, especially after seeing this hypercharge. So with its hypercharge, it heals for 20% of the damage dealt. So just really good, allowing you in 1v1s to just actually not even 1v1s, in a group setting to just survive more and just get more value. So I think this will be really good. But now with her hypercharge, she deals damage on the maximum health percentage rather than their current health. So normally you had to wait for like brawlers like Frank or just for them to be full health for you to get full value, but now it's just no matter what. So yeah, this is gonna be very broken. I definitely foresee Ali, actually it's gonna be pretty strong. It's not gonna be as broken because of the damage hypercharge stat nerf, but it'll be very, very good, I think, in my opinion. Next we've got Mina. So Mina has triple tornadoes and they can bounce, which is just absolutely insane. I imagine if you're really up close, maybe all 3 tornadoes can hit and you can deal 6k damage. Maybe, I don't know. It looks maybe like only 2 of them could hit because of just how large they are in radius. But yeah, this looks very toxic. Imagine just being able to fly people in the air like crazy. Imagine if you could hypercharge cycle another set of tornadoes. Yeah, that looks pretty toxic to me. And the last one is Ziggy's hypercharge. So Ziggy's Vortex, it travels back to him no matter what. So this is actually a lot stronger than people think, right? Because it's just so much zoning. I mean, his super isn't anything broken by any means, but it's still, imagine hot zone, imagine dueling beetles, you're throwing the hypercharge up and you're throwing it down. It's like a movable lose super essentially. So it will be very good for that reason. So I'm excited, and especially if Ziggy gets some buffs. Now let's go through some secret balance changes which I've seen in Brawl Talk. There weren't too many, but the first one is Melody's health. Melody's health has gone from 7,200 to 7,400. So I think it's going to be enough to push us into the top of the meta, but perhaps a lot of these really strong brawlers, meta brawlers, are going to get big nerfs. Hypercharge is getting nerfed, so if anything, she's got more health because of that, if that makes sense indirectly. Again, it's going to probably maybe bump her up 1 tier, but don't foresee it being the biggest difference maker. Next up, we've got a nerf to all hypercharges, which we spoke about, which is a really good change. Again, we've really spoke about this on the channel with hypercharges being broken. This is a fantastic nerf, and I'm excited to actually play the game now. People can't just abuse purple button the way that they could in the past. I mean, I'm hoping so, and we'll have to try it out first and foremost, but I definitely think it's a great change, especially before World Finals. And then the last one is Mina's supercharge rate. So I was looking at the hypercharge, and she threw out quite a few attacks and like super hit somebody, and I just thought maybe a supercharge rate is nerfed. I mean, that's definitely the nerf I see happening with Mina. Out of everything, they've got to be tackling her supercharge rate. It's very obvious. So it's a very obvious nerf, but just a small thing I kind of noticed, but I didn't really notice any other balance changes. You guys probably have a better eye than me, so let me know if I missed out on any in the comments. And just to round things off then, I thought I'd mention the new game mode, the new roguelike game mode, which I feel like I spoke to dev team about for like a couple of years ago now, when I went over to do the Time to Explain podcast. So I was like exploring these type of ideas. Surprised that it's kind of took them this long to implement something like this, because it's such a good idea. In Showdown, you have to get the top 4 and you advance to the next stage. You get to pick a different buff every single time without it being like too toxic of a power-up. You know, in the past, every single event or collaboration seems to have these broken power-ups, which just a little bit too boring for the majority of the play base now. So I think this is a great change, a lot of replayability, and finally something different with collabs. I think that's what a lot of people have been asking for. Like, it's okay for them to release temporary content a lot of the time, as long as it's not every single update, but they've got to at least mix it up a little bit. It can't just be like a reskin of all the previous collabs. So this is a great change, and my hat definitely goes off to them. And then finally, we've got some like mega quest changes. They've also changed your daily wins as well, which I think all of these included are going to make Brawl Stars a much more fun game. So I'm very excited about this. I think Brawl Stars are going to be on the upwards trajectory now. It's no longer going to be on the decline. Sorry guys, my English is terrible today because I'm still just recovering from sickness, but that's gonna be it for today's video. I'm really hopeful of this update, guys. Honestly, this is going to be a really good one, and we've got a Brawl Talk coming in like another month's time, so we know that there's more content to come. So I'm excited. Hope you guys are too. Yeah, make sure to subscribe for all balance changes in tomorrow's video. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.